F1 is back for the first official test session of the season. All 11 teams and 22 drivers are present for 6 days of running across 2 weeks at the Bahrain International Circuit. McLaren enter the 2026 season as reigning back-to-back Constructors' champions. And it was Oscar Piastri in the car for the morning of day one. The Aussie, who had battled for last season's Drivers' Championship until the very final round, was on the pace from the off in Bahrain. Despite McLaren running just over half the number of laps of Mercedes in Barcelona, the Woking-based outfit were raring to go in Bahrain. Piastri second fastest in the morning session, just 0.2 of a second behind Max Verstappen. The Australian gave turn 10 a wide berth, following Aston Martin's Lance Stroll, that completed 54 laps before the lunch break. 2025 world champion Lando Norris took over for the afternoon session, topping the day one times with a 1:34.669. The Brit added a further 58 laps to McLaren's total, ensuring they ended the day with well over 100 tours of the circuit. George Russell was the only driver other than the title protagonist to win a Grand Prix in 2025, the Brit victorious on 2 occasions at Canada and Singapore. And the Silver Arrows were in fine form throughout shakedown, logging 500 laps in Barcelona, more than any other team. On to Bahrain, and Mercedes were again getting the laps in. Russell ran the morning session, completing 56 laps before teammate Kimi Antonelli took over for the afternoon. The Brit did have a little trouble at the off-camber turn 10, running wide on 3 separate occasions. Antonelli's running was delayed after Mercedes found an issue while changing setups, but the Italian was able to hit the track, completing 30 laps despite a wild snap at turn 4. Team principal Toto Wolff offering his thoughts on Mercedes' progress so far.
I think everything goes according to the plan. We have, it isn't smooth sailing. We have complication on car balance, which are a little bit more articulated here than they were in Barcelona, obviously due to the hot conditions. And we've seen a very, very strong Verstappen this morning. So, we have to get our act together, all of us, and then maybe by the end of the test, we will understand more whether what we've done is good enough.
Max Verstappen described 2025 as his greatest ever season, just 2 points away from a 5th world title, despite driving a car which, quote, he hated at times. The Dutchman excelled to lead the most laps, claim the most pole positions, and win the most races in 2025. A strong shakedown in Spain saw the Red Bull Ford powertrains run over 600 laps between both teams. In Bahrain, Verstappen was happily lapping once again, the quadruple champ topping the times in the morning session, while also completing 64 laps. Despite leading the early running, the 28-year-old did have a lock-up at turn 1, before saving a spectacular slide at turn 4. Verstappen ended the day with 136 laps and set a time only marginally slower than Lando Norris at the top. Lewis Hamilton endured the first podiumless season of his career in 2025, the Briton missing out on the rostrum for the first time in 19 years. Despite this, a special sprint victory in China guaranteed Hamilton's first season wasn't without some success, and a positive shakedown in Spain ensured the Brit came to Bahrain with optimism of the season ahead. The 7-time champ survived a scare at turn 1, rotating his new SF26 180 degrees before locking up in the very same place later on.
The track's dirty, sandy, and very windy, so you're just kind of sliding around. So, it was just kind of brushing off the cobwebs, I guess. Yeah, over the next couple of days, the track will get better.
Charles Leclerc hopped in for the afternoon. The man from Monaco is the only driver other than George Russell, Max Verstappen and the McLarens to secure a pole last season, stunning all to claim the top spot in qualifying for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Leclerc completed 80 laps and set the 3rd fastest time on day 1. Despite their 2025 success, Williams were the only team to miss the shakedown in Barcelona. Team principal James Vowles said missing the test was one of the hardest decisions he'd ever had to make. The team has since completed a shakedown at Silverstone, the FW48 breaking cover as both Alex Albon and Carlos Sainz got a taste of their new office for the first time. On to Bahrain, and Sainz was at the wheel in the morning, clocking a session-topping 77 laps. But the Spaniard did bounce across the curbs at turn 10 on multiple occasions, as he continues to find the limit of his FW48. Albon continued the fine form to complete a further 68 laps in the afternoon, ensuring the Williams team set the most laps on day 1. Team boss James Vowles aware of the task ahead to match 2025's impressive points haul.
I would say we still have a huge amount to do before Melbourne. Facts are we did miss 3 days of testing in Barcelona. Good news is the weather's good here, but we did miss that. And whilst we had other plans, we just need to make sure now that we forge a good, sensible plan across these 6 days to catch back up.
Aston Martin are another team looking for laps in Bahrain, having only completed one full day of running in Barcelona. Lance Stroll was in the car on day one, the Canadian taking multiple trips beyond the boundaries at turn 10 as he got to grips with the new car. The 27-year-old ended the day with 36 laps, clocking a best time of 1:39.883. Cadillac got the wheels turning with a shakedown at Silverstone before heading to Barcelona to complete 3 more days of running, and the American team unveiled their 2026 colours with a spectacular event in New York City. Valtteri Bottas and Sergio Perez shared driving duties on day one in Bahrain. The Finn took the controls in the morning session, but was a passenger as his car careered across the runoff after a lock-up at turn 10. With 10 race wins under his belt, Bottas is hopeful of what he can achieve on his return.
It was so important to be at the Barcelona shakedown and here ready and running the car. If we would have missed any days, we would definitely be in trouble in Melbourne. So, I think the team has done so far incredible job to be on time. But now, step by step, instead of problem solving and debugging, the focus will turn into performance, and that's what we need to keep finding in the next weeks, months and years. We're here to race, so of course we are going to try and focus on performance, try and learn about the car, which is completely new beast to everyone in the team.
Teammate Perez was lucky to get away with one at turn 1, the Mexican suffering a massive double front lockup as he started his lap. Despite this, Cadillac ended the day with 107 laps, with Perez setting the team's fastest lap of a 1:38.828. Nico Hülkenberg proved that good things come to those who wait, after finally collecting his maiden Formula 1 podium at the 2025 British Grand Prix. The Hulk has started 250 races and brings vast experience to Audi in their first Formula 1 season, the German having helped to develop a number of teams throughout his 14-year established career. Hülkenberg shared the first day of testing with Gabriel Bortoleto, who had a small moment at turn 1 as he rotated his new R26. The experienced German also had a mishap at turn 1, locking a front right tyre before running off the road. And there were more issues for the 38-year-old Hülkenberg, coming to a stop with 2.5 hours remaining. But the issue was quickly fixed, allowing him to return to the action as the German team completed 122 laps on day 1 of testing. Alpine switched to Mercedes powertrains for 2026, having been powered by Renault since 2015 when they used Mercedes for a singular season. The French manufacturer impressed in the shakedown to complete nearly 350 laps. No small feat for a team changing power unit suppliers. But there were issues early on in Bahrain. Franco Colapinto completing just 28 laps before coming to a halt in the morning session.
We had a few issues with the car, I think normal from the test, but it's part of it. So we are checking everything and waiting through the stuff and getting through the learnings just normal things of the test.
Alpine managed to fix the issue for the afternoon session, allowing Pierre Gasly to complete 49 laps, setting a fastest time of 1:36.765. Haas's year started well, having completed nearly 400 laps of Barcelona during shakedown, third only to Mercedes and Ferrari. And Esteban Ocon was at the controls for day 1 in Bahrain, completing over 100 laps, setting the 4th fastest time. But the Frenchman did join a plethora of other drivers by locking up into turn 10. Like their sister team Red Bull, the Racing Bulls will also run the new RB Ford powertrain in 2026. With significant mileage in Barcelona, they start the official tests in a good position. 18-year-old Arvid Lindblad was in the hot seat on day 1, the only rookie joining the grid in 2026. The Brit becomes the 20th Red Bull Junior to graduate to F1, having won races in Formula 3 and Formula 2 over the past 2 seasons. Lindblad's day was cut short after Racing Bulls discovered a fluid leak. Nonetheless, the young Brit logged 75 laps, setting the 12th fastest time. Reigning world champion Lando Norris was fastest on day 1 in Bahrain, 1/10 quicker than his old foe Max Verstappen in P2. They were followed by Leclerc, Ocon, Piastri and Russell, Lewis Hamilton, Gasly, Hülkenberg and Albon rounding out the top 10. In P11 it was Antonelli with Lindblad, Sainz and Perez just behind. Bortoleto, Bottas, Stroll and Colapinto rounded out the runners. And it was Williams completing the most laps, with Red Bull and Ferrari not far behind. Solid laps completed for Audi, Haas, McLaren and Cadillac, as Mercedes, Alpine, Racing Bulls and Aston Martin will hope for more over the coming days.